Camera comparison now between the Pixel 7 Pro and the iPhone 14 Pro Max and the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. So these are the front-facing cameras. All three do support 4K, and I'm shooting 4K 30 right here. Obviously it's using electronic image stabilization. So we've got 10 megapixels versus 40 megapixels versus 12. Swapping the audio sources over too. So let me know which one you think has the best microphone out of these three. And I just wanted to make it really clear that all three of these phones, I bought them myself. I'm not part of Team Pixel, I'm Team Nobody here. So let's just test the stabilization, a short little jog. And now I'll swap over to the rear cameras. Rear 4K 30 frames per second. So we've got a 50 megapixel sensor, 48 megapixel sensor, and 108. All of them have optical image stabilization and electronic. So just walking ahead here, I can see it looks like it is the Pixel that has the biggest crop here. Now I haven't put it in a super steady mode or anything like that. I'm just gonna jog ahead a little and go down these steps. See which one has the steadiest footage here. Let me know in the comments which one do you think is the steadiest. It's hard to tell with me looking at the screens as I record, but it seems like it could actually be the Pixel 7 Pro here. It looks the steadiest. 4K 60 frames per second now, so it is looking very smooth across all three of them. But this is a great test of the stability. So what I'm going to do here is run down these stairs as fast as I can, and let me know which one you think here is the steadiest. I have now enabled the super steady mode, action mode, and then the action mode setting for stabilization with the Pixel. So this is basically like action camera style. And we're going to run up these stairs now. See which one is the steadiest. Now it does lower down the resolution because it's using some aggressive image stabilization with these super steady modes or action modes. So still keeping with 4K 30 frames per second, these are the ultra-wide cameras. Now I'm going to pan around here as slow as possible with all three, and let me know which one you think has the least jitter, that stutter that you see when you pan around sometimes. Hopefully all three of them are smooth. They are, after all, flagships. So I'm just going to jog up stairs again here of Las Rodas, testing out the stability. See which one is the steadiest. I go up here, so it's all electronic image stabilization, and I am swapping over the audio sources. There should be no wind noise on any of these because it isn't really that windy today. An ultra wide video now, 4K 60 frames per second this time. So again, which one do you think looks the steadiest? I'm just walking ahead, I'm not running or anything just yet. I'm gonna pan around now. Hopefully no jitter coming through. This is where it's probably going to happen, especially with the sun's position right now here in the afternoon. So they should be perfectly smooth, and now just a light jog ahead, testing out that stabilization with the ultra wides at 4K 60. Alright, so this is now a cinematic video, which is called portrait video with the S22 Ultra. So which one here do you think is doing the best job of blurring out the background and keeping my daughter and Vera here in focus? Vera, yeah. So let me know in the comments. This is zoom video now with our zoom camera. So we have a 5x optical versus a 3x optical, and then a 10x optical with the Samsung. So of course the 10x optical is going to win here. The periscope camera tends to shake around a little bit more though. So does it actually give us usable video quality? Probably not. I can go over to the 3x camera too, so we can look at all of those. And of course you can apply a bit of digital zoom, which I will do now. So first to the iPhone, I'm going to bring that up to 5x. And I will just bring that up to 5x here with the S22 Ultra. And I'll take it up to 10 here now with the Pixel. So that is 10x. And 10x now with the iPhone. I wouldn't do that. In fact, that's 9x at the moment, and then we can go over to that 10x optical. and apply up to 20 times here with the S22 Ultra. It doesn't look good. I would not be using zoom with video with these phones. Finally, for video, this is 4K 30 low light footage. So you can see all those lens flare, the reflections with the iPhone in the sea there. It looks really bad. It's not that bad on the Pixel 7 Pro or the S22 Ultra, which I think has some sort of optical coating over it. So the iPhone is showing that the worst. What about as I walk ahead? Are we seeing more noticeable jarring coming through with one of these? Looks like the Pixel 7 Pro might be the steadiest here. Ultra wide low light footage now. It looks like to me the Pixel is possibly the worst and the iPhone is looking like it has the sharpest image. All three of them don't really look that great. I would not be shooting ultra wide low light with these phones. And over to our stills now. So this shot of my cat Vera here, the S22 Ultra, it kind of kills the details on the black. The Pixel 7 Pro looks good, but it's almost too artificial with those details and her black fur. And then the iPhone 14 Pro Max, well, I don't know what happened here. The focus is off. And yes, I did tap on her face. I was aiming for her nose with the focus, but the iPhone somehow got that wrong. It sometimes does happen there. So if I was going to pick a winner, probably have to be the Pixel 7 Pro here. Front-facing portrait shot here. So I like the S22 Ultra. It has the best stitching. Just look at my messy hair at the top. It did end up stitching out my face the best. Has the best colors here. I find the Pixel 7 Pro to be maybe a little too warm, a little too bright. The iPhone is quite bright as well. Almost seems overexposed, but not quite. I think, yeah, definitely the S22 Ultra, the more natural shot here and the best colors. Rear portrait photo. So the iPhone 14 Pro Max here to me looks a little too bright. It's also a bit over processed. The Pixel 7 Pro, look at the textures in her shirt. The other two phones didn't get that, but I do like the colors of the S22 Ultra. The S22 Ultra did have the best stitching around my daughter's hair on the left-hand side. Now for this photo, the pint of beer, I think it's the iPhone 14 Pro Max that got this shot. Now it's all subjective, but I do prefer the background blur of the iPhone 14 Pro Max. It looks a little too bright, the HDR on the Pixel 7 Pro. And when you zoom in, you can see the focus on the subject, which is the pint of beer here, does look the best on the 14 Pro Max. Now if we look at the colors, they are very similar. But more true to life is the S22 Ultra, and generally I do see this in most of the daytime photos. Now this is a difficult shot to get this color correct. Now it's not quite a pink, it's a little bit more of a darkish pink here. So the color I would say is more of what the iPhone 14 Pro Max is showing here, or the S22 Ultra. However, we get all the different shades of the flowers here with the Pixel 7 Pro best. The S22 Ultra, there's quite a bit of clipping going on with the colors, and the 14 Pro Max 2 does have a bit of clipping there. So the Pixel 7 Pro, even though the color is a little off, it should be slightly darker shade of pink, it is the winner here. Still with those main cameras, indoor shot here. Now look at the pillar in the background. It should be white. On the Pixel 7 Pro, it's got a bit of a bluish tint to it. And the details of these three birds here, I think looks the best on the iPhone 14 Pro Max, but there's a bit of maybe over sharpening going on there. The S22 Ultra, it gets the colors correct. I like the way the shot looks. The colors in the back of the wall look a little bit better, and the shadows, it's more natural. So the S22 Ultra for me gets the win, but I know a lot of people would probably actually like maybe the iPhone 14 Pro Max shot here being just a little brighter. Another good high dynamic range test. So HDR with the Pixel 7 Pro is very good, and with the iPhone Pro Max, but it's actually a little brighter, both of those shots, than what it really was. Now look at the sky here. The Pixel 7 Pro has oversaturated the sky. The sky looked a little more the shade of blue that we're seeing with the Galaxy S22 Ultra. And the shadows, yes, they are the darkest on the S22 Ultra, but it was really a little bit more like what the iPhone 14 Pro Max is showing. So I think It's probably the Pro Max here, but it doesn't quite have the colors. The colors are the best on the S22 Ultra. So a bit of a draw across all three. None of them actually nails this shot as I saw it. Zoom cameras. So the S22 Ultra has, yes, the, of course, periscope camera with its 10 times optical zoom versus a 3 times optical with the iPhone 14 Pro Max and then the Pixel 7 Pro with a 3 times zoom. Now, I think the Pixel's got a lot of detail there that I do like the look of its shot, where it starts to get a little bit washed out, not quite as detailed with the S22 Ultra. However, yes, it is a little bit closer there. So I think for zoom shots, S22 Ultra, but the Pixel 7 Pro does do very well. This is a hard one, the ultra-wide cameras. Now you can see that two of them are almost the same when it comes to the colors. That is the Pixel 7 Pro and the S22 Ultra. The iPhone 14 Pro Max, I don't know what's going on here. The sky was not that blue. It's just a little too oversaturated here. Now look at the details with the S22 Ultra. In fact, all three of them are very detailed, really good dynamic range. It is down to, well, personal preference here on what you prefer, but I'm going to select the one that looked like the scene when I was there, when I took the photo, which was the S22 Ultra. So that gets a win here for the ultra-wide. In this ultra-wide shot, you can see that the S22 Ultra has the widest field of view, but it does have a little bit of lens distortion to it more than the other two. Now, if I zoom in, take a look at the building here. You can see that it looks a little bit bluish on the S22 Ultra. Now, that should be, of course, white. So it is the iPhone 14 Pro Max this time around that did get the white balance right. Now, it seems to capture a little bit more detail. It handles the sun differently, the rays there, but it's not bad. We don't really get too much lens flare or anything like that coming through. There's a little more on the Pixel 7 Pro, and it even captured that seagull there better than the S22 Ultra. I know it's the timing, but I think overall it is the iPhone 14 Pro Max that has won this particular ultra-wide shot. So they are trading blows here. Night shots now. So when you take a look at this, they all look very similar, but the S22 Ultra gets the colors down more true to life here. Look at the sky. The sky was black. There were no clouds in the sky. Best captured on the S22 Ultra. And then the Pixel 7 Pro does the best job of getting the details and exposing everything inside the kiosk in the store here. The iPhone 14 Pro Max, to me, is just a little too noisy, a little bit over sharpened. It is number 3 out of these. So if I have to rate them, S22 Ultra, I think just first, very close second, is the 7 Pro, but it captures, the insides of that store really well there. So with this scene here, it should look orange. The colors are the best on the S22 Ultra. Close second for colors would be the iPhone 14 Pro Max. But when you zoom in, take a look at the details on the Pixel 7 Pro and then the 14 Pro Max. This is where the S22 Ultra is looking a little blurry, a little bit washed out. So I think it's, for details, definitely the Pixel 7 Pro, and the iPhone 14 Pro Max isn't bad, but the street light has a bit of a lens flare to it. So overall, it's very close, but for me, it is the Pixel 7 Pro with this shot. Now the difficult shot. So I like the way the S22 Ultra captured the sky. It looked like this. It's black, it should be dark. The 14 Pro Max, there's a bit of noise to it, and the 7 Pro, it's making the sky look a little artificial. Now the colors, all right, more true to life. S22 Ultra yet again with the colors. The color of the hotel has a bit of an orange tint to it on the right-hand side, which it does show. But I don't think it's overall the best shot here when you look at the subject, which is the hotel that I'm taking the photo of. So with the details, with the way the signs are captured, it's either the 14 Pro Max or the 7 Pro. It's very difficult to choose between those ones. I think overall, probably the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and a close second, the Pixel 7 Pro. So again, trading blows with the low light here. Yikes. Ultra wides in low light with all three of them are terrible. And I think maybe the noisiest is the Pixel 7 Pro here. The S22 Ultra has quite a bit of blur, and the 14 Pro Max is also bad. So there's no real clear winner here. All three of them are terrible. Don't really take low light photos with the ultra wide unless you have a tripod. Finally, the last low light shot. So this particular shot, the sign comes out the best. It was that red on the Pixel 7 Pro. It also had that orangey, more warmish tint to it. So it got the colors more correct here on the 7 Pro, and look at the details
where the people are eating, the people there. It did capture this scene the best out of all three. Okay, so to recap my findings, I do find that the video stability was most of the time the best on the Pixel 7 Pro. But for the actual video quality, the less dropped frames, the less judder when you pan around, I think it was the iPhone 14 Pro Max tend to capture better details and overall just look the best in terms of especially rare video quality. For audio quality, it's between the S22 Ultra and I think the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Although the Pixel was pretty good, it wasn't bad. So they're really all kind of about the same when it comes to audio quality. But I think I heard just a little bit more wind noise coming through on the 7 Pro, the Pixel 7 Pro. So for stills, I think daytime stills overall, just averaging here, the S22 Ultra had the best colors, best portrait shots, best stitching. And low light, you saw with the low light that they were trading blows. So overall, I couldn't really pick a definite winner there for low light photography. Probably the S22 Ultra for the colors at least, but then at times the Pixel 7 Pro had more detail. The iPhone 14 Pro Max also did very well. So you can't go wrong with any of these three, but it just depends on your overall tastes in shots. If you like more true to life colors, probably go for the S22 Ultra. And if you want that really good zoom, but if you want the best video quality, the iPhone 14 Pro Max, I think overall is the one to go for video at least. Thanks a lot for watching this detailed in-depth camera comparison. I hope you did like it. Please do give a thumbs up. That helps out the YouTube algorithm, and I'll see you in the next one.